So
what kind of cars are you modifying back then? Like,
so yeah, dude, anything that would roll in the door. And I kind of had a little bit of notoriety from the Silver State race. So, you know, it was JDM, so it was Supras, 300ZX twin turbo, you know, so Grand National Supras. So the Mark IV Supra, you know, the Cyclone, the Typhoon, you know, that had like the
pickup truck.
Yeah, that had the 3.8 liter single turbo V6. And so then a guy calls me up in early '93, and he said, "Hey, I've got one of the first Dodge Vipers coming." It was actually a model year '92, but they had some production delays, so the car didn't come out to the spring of '93. And he said, "Hey, I bought a Viper, and I want to take it to the Silver State race, and can you help me put like the safety equipment and help it pass tech?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "But I'll make you a deal. If you let me modify it, I think I can get another 100 horsepower to that Viper, and I'll do it for free." I said, "I won't even charge you to do it." I said, "The only thing I'll ask in return, I'll take you out to the race. I'll support you. I'll bring my mechanic. We'll look after your car. After the race, if you'll," again, my buddy Joe Jacuzzi was with Mitsubishi at the time, said, "Hey, I'll take you around LA and I'll introduce you to the editor at Motor Trend and Hot Rod and Carcraft and Road and Track." And sure enough, we did all that. And I initially did it with my 3000 GT, got some articles off of it. And I'm like, when I was doing that back in the early 90s, this is before social media, this is before YouTube, no internet. And so that's the only way we knew about car stuff is we read car magazines, right? And so I'm doing all this for a couple of weeks with Joe and going around. I'm thinking, man, I've been gone a long time. I did this race. I go to talk to all these media guys, and just be patient. When the magazine comes out, if they like you and they like your car and they write something nice about it, your phone will ring. And sure enough, phone started ringing. So I did all that with the Viper. And then
how'd you get 100 more horsepower out of it?
You know, the Viper is a big, 8-liter V10. And so back in those days, the exhaust systems sound like a UPS truck. They still kind of sound weird. It's 2 5-cylinders, basically, is what it sounds like. So we freed up the exhaust. We did a cold air intake. We poured it and polished the head. So we bumped it to at least 500 horsepower. Then we started doing cams and stroker motors and eventually turbos. And basically from '93 through, for the next 10 years into the early 2000s, I would say we were on the covers of 30, 40 magazines, including all the major buff books.
Isn't it crazy when you think about the progression of cars and power, that if you go back to the original Viper, it wasn't really that fast?
Now, compared to
what
today,
did it have horsepower-wise? The
original was 400, and then they went to 450.
So 400 is like, I mean, you get a regular Mustang GT, you're getting 460.
Yeah,
like
yeah. The new Dark Horse would be 500, and I mean, you could take a Tesla, Model 3 and beat an old Viper. I mean, back in the day, but it was so torquey and it was just so outrageous. And
it was raw.
It was raw.
No anti-lock brakes.
That's true. It was kind of scary. We flat spotted a lot of tires. Ooh. But pretty cool car for back in the day. And again, me being the contrarian, there are plenty of other guys out there modifying Corvettes and Mustangs and things like that.
Of course.
I'm the guy that wants to be different. So if you guys are modifying those vehicles, I'm going to modify the Viper. And so that just kind of built up our business kind of grew from just a small tuning shop to a larger scale tuning shop. And then we added it up, maybe a year ago. That's from 91 through about a year ago. We had modified about 15,000 vehicles worldwide. Yeah.
Wow.
We did mail order for a while, and some of that was mail order, but last year we modified 564 vehicles last year.
So when did you start getting to the shit you're doing now? Like, you made me a 1,000 horsepower TRX.
Yeah.
That car is so stupid.
It is. It is so stupid.
But the problem is,
and the brakes are good, because I was worried that you would end up into the back of an 18-wheeler.
No, I drive it very responsibly, believe it or not. I just love the fact that it has so much power.
And it sounds great.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
And it also, because it's high up, you get a great vantage point. You get to see
great
accidents before they happen.
If you're stuck on the highway and there's some wreck, you can just go through the grass and go into the feeder road.
Yeah, you really could do that.
I mean, trucks are. I mean, the other thing is like when I'm driving like my older cars, like I've got a Cadillac CTSV wagon manual, and I'm pulling out of a store, and some lady at Christmas a couple years ago runs into me because she didn't see me. So I do like driving something bigger like that, because if they run into you, it's not going to do that much, and they generally see you and want to not run into you. So.
My Land Cruiser, well, the TRX has steel bumpers too.
Yeah.
My Land Cruiser also has rock sliders on the side of it, and so because it's lifted, if someone's going to T-bone me, they're going right into the rock slider.
Yeah, it's going to be worse for them than it is for you, for sure.